Hi, my name is Thiago and I'm one of the co-founders of Propmap. On this video, I'm going to give you a quick tour on the main features of the platform. Here on the left, I have the web platform and I'm logged in as one of the managers or the project assistants. And then on the right, we have an Android phone connected to the computer and I have Propmap installed and I'm logged in as one of the site workers or the site engineers. The first thing you see when you log into Propmap is a list of all the jobs on your organization. You can see a live status of them if they are active, open, or on hold, or ready to be built, for example. You can also see if there's any issues raised on those jobs, and they can be either issues raised by the engineers. For example, I need a new appointment or I cannot access the site, but it can also be automatically generated by the system if someone missed an appointment. You can also see tags, and I'll come back to tags in a little bit, but basically you can assign different tags for the jobs. You also have disciplines. You can create as many disciplines as you want. And you also have a view of the next appointment and who is the engineer that is going to perform that appointment. If we go to the settings, here's where we can see the disciplines and we can deactivate disciplines if you stop doing some of them. But you can also create as many disciplines or sub-disciplines as you need. Here you also can create tags. The default tags we have here are, need an offer or the offer has been sent, accepted, need material, the material is ready for pickup, or the job is ready for billing. And the reason is, if we go back to the work orders, users can filter the jobs based on their tags. So for example, if I want to find all the jobs that needs technical clarification, um, I can simply filter that and then find those jobs and help out um, with whatever is needed. So there are many ways you can filter and find jobs. And then you can save these as a preset, which means each person on the organization can have a list of preset filters that they can go through every day or every week or every month. So for example, if I'm responsible for dispatching the heating team, I can create a heating schedule filter that will find all the jobs that needs a new appointment, for example. So our customers, they usually have a list of things they go through every day. For example, let's see all the appointments that happened yesterday, if there was any issue or anything that needs fixed. And then we go to all the jobs that needs an offer so I can address that, and so on. One thing also important about the disciplines is when you invite team members to your organization, you can assign different disciplines to them. And this means you won't be able to book an electrical job to one of your plumbers, for example, unless that person has the discipline. One other feature is the appointments page. And the appointments page has the calendar of your site workers on the left and a map with all the jobs on the right. We can also see the starting location of your engineers, which allows you to book jobs around them, which reduces driving time. We can also add availability to your workers. So for example, you can log annual leave or parental leave as well as sick days. And to book a job, all we have to do is to find a job that needs an appointment. So let's say I want an appointment for this job and I'm gonna book for Gareth, which is the worker that I have logged in here. So to book an appointment, I select the job and then I select the time and date on the calendar. Notice that here you can also add more workers to this appointment as well as multiple days, and it will create a job on each day that you select this. So I'm going to keep as a single day from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. for this job and create an appointment. Notice here on the right that Gareth already got a notification of a new job, and if we refresh this page, he will be able to see the job. Now this is important. When the workers refresh their daily calendar, Propmap actually downloads the job to their phone so they can perform the work even when they're offline. So if they're on a basement without connection or on a remote area without a signal, they can still do the job, take all the photos, and then PropMap will upload all of this information when they resurface. Now let's take a look on the app. Um, First, if we go to the settings, the workers can choose from different languages on the app, as well as what is going to be the default maps for their navigation. They can also see their calendar where they can see if they have any holidays booked, and that is already added to the system. Now let's go back to their appointments. And again, on today, we have this one job that we just booked. So here, he already has a basic information about that job, the location. And if we open the job, we go to the info tab. And the way we organize the app is everything left to the info tab is extra information about this job. And everything to the right of the info tab is the default workflow that they go through, taking photos, telling us what they did, and so on. So let's go back to the info page. The first thing they see is again the basic information about it, the address, and if they click, it's going to open Waze or Google Maps. They have a time tracker, so I'm going to start tracking my time on this job. And notice that the status here already changed to in progress, as well as the information here on the info tab. We also have the customer information. They can click and call if needed. And we have a short description about this job. On the activity tab, we can see a timeline of everything that happened on that job. So we can see previous photos taken, um, previous comments, previous notes, um, or anything else that happened to that job that is relevant to a worker. They can also filter this by using the filters on the top. So if I want to see just the photos or just the notes, we can see here. So for example, I have a note from the office saying check photos sent by the customers ahead of the appointment. So we can see that. We have the Photos tab, which has only the photos added on a sequential order. And we have the Documents tab, where the office can upload PDFs, for example, instruction manuals or any other information that is relevant for the worker on site. If we go back to the info page, now that we have a timer running, we can start performing our default workflow. So the default workflow is take a photo before you start working, tell us what you did, what materials you used, collect a signature if there's someone on site, and then take a photo of the completed job. Okay, so let's execute them quickly here. So I'm gonna go back to the first one, site checks. This is much easier doing with your finger than the mouse. Um, so first thing, I'm gonna add a photo of the building, and you can choose the camera or the gallery. And this is actually a photo that will help other workers in the future to locate the entrance or the building that we're gonna do the job. It's not a step that is required, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's add a photo before we start working. And you can also choose multiple photos, don't have to be one. I'm just gonna choose multiple and done. Next, let's say the worker can go perform all the maintenance that they need, and then at the end, they can come here and log what they did. And you can upload a list of billable labor that your company does, so the workers pick from a list instead of typing, and that would be ideal. So they can go here and say, I did 2 of these, or I did 2 hours of that. But if they do something that is not on their table, they can also add a custom work item using this button here. So I'm gonna just cancel that. Next is tell us what materials you used, and the same principle applies. They can pick from a list, or they can add a new material that if it's not on the list. Okay. Finally, let's collect a signature. So let's say we have the customer on site. Her name is Sarah. I'm not gonna go and type the other information here just because of time. And the worker can collect the signature from the customer. Okay, that done, we can go to the final checks. Some nice reminders to clean the area, pack all the tools, but most importantly, for liability reasons, take photos of the job completed. So let's choose something that looks neat and clean. Let's say that's what we did today. And done. Okay, now that we have completed all the steps, we can go ahead and finish this job and stop my timer. So the system asked if we had any issues. No, we didn't. It was all good. And if we go back, we can see that we have this job now marked as completed. Now, before we move away from the mobile app, notice that at any time the workers can go back and upload more photos if they want. So they can come here and upload 10 photos if needed. They can also raise any issue there was with the job. So they can come here and tell us what happened on that job, and that's going to create an alert on the platform. Now, let's take a look on the today's job here on the web. So I'm gonna click on it on a new tab here. There we go. If we open this job on the web, we can see what we call the work order details, which has all the information about the job, starting with the basic details. So for example, that description we saw on the mobile phone. We can also see the customer details, or we can add different contacts if it's not the customer that's going to be on site. We can also see the location of the job, all the appointments that that job had. So this was the second appointment I do on this job. And if we expand on that, we can see here that we actually spent 5 minutes on it. Um, all the documents, including a summary of my appointment. So we automatically generate a summary containing, so if I open this PDF here, so the summary has the things we did on that appointment, the signature we collected from the customer as well. I'm going to close that one. So this is automatically saved to the job. We can also see the work items that we added to that job, as well as the materials we used on that job. And this is not just for one appointment, but can be for multiple appointments. You can also download the information about labor and materials as a PDF for an invoice or a quote. So you can simply choose what job you want to get the information from, and then you can download as a PDF and send to the customer. You can also export that information to be imported in Zero. So we made it easy for you to get all the data about the materials and labor. You just have to add the invoice number and then download the CSV. And then on Zero, you can simply import that information and it will create a draft invoice for you with all the data and the numbers. So you can send it to the customer from here. We can see the notes you create, and different people can add notes to this job, as well as the photos. So if we minimize here, we can see all the photos that we uploaded today, as well as photos from previous days as well. One other important thing here is, let's minimize some of those tabs, but one other important thing is the activity stream, which is similar to the activity stream on the mobile phone, but even more complete. And we can see everything that happened on that job, including when someone wrote a note or when someone changed the customer email or the customer name. Everything gets logged, which is great when you have a problem on a job. So you can go back here and see everything that happened to that job, as well as the tags. So let's say now that the job is finished, I can go and add the tag ready for bidding. Also, another benefit of using platform like Propmap is to have data about your company. So if I open the dashboards here, we can create customized dashboards for your organization with different metrics. We can also create weekly or monthly summaries that is sent by email to every manager on the company. So this is a sample from one of our customers. And that's the kind of dashboards we can send, including every worker's hours, and as well as every issue raised or every discipline and so on. Okay, so that was a very quick tour. This gives you an idea of the platform. Our main goal is to have all the information in one place, but most importantly, to make something that is easy to use and intuitive.